Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I want to present you a very average battle in the AMX-30, which is a French Tier 4 battle rating 7.3 premium tank. Now, I already presented you this tank in a tank review, and I complained a lot about the very unreliable heat shell in terms of post-penetration damage effect and just how weak it overall felt, weaker than some 85-90mm heat shells of other nations. So very unreliable in particular, and that resulted in a lot of frustrating battles. However, I think this has changed, and I can confirm this at least from my experience in the, well, few battles that I played right now, around about 5-6 like this. And then I had this battle and I thought, well, better show this than just some kill compilation or some things, because again, you know, it's true, very often you cherry pick your very best battles, but it's also the decision making that I want to talk you through in terms of what I do right now. I do not drive into the capture zone, and I wait for some of my team members to also participate in the capping. Now, when you cap, you share the RP and silver lines for the entire cap, but each participant of the capturing process gains 300 spawn points regardless how much he participated in it. And when you gain 300 spawn points, that is actually quite a lot. So I see some action going on to my right, and I observe, and what I see is here a tank coming. So I prepare here, and I see him driving through my gun sight. There it is, and I want now to ambush him. Now, very often you have a good plan, you want to execute it. There is the gun breach, and oh god, I just missed the muzzle brake because he duked back, and now he went round the corner and killed 2 of my 4 crew members. And now I'm not very pleased with the result, and I try to get into cover and at least restore my combat capabilities. Ultimately, my goal is to, well, clear the situation and get back into C and get one of my crew members back to have at least a decent reload. Not the maximum reload, because now of course the bonus from my commander will be gone because I cannot you know, get 2 crew members back. And yeah, where is this guy? I have no idea. And well, he killed one of my teammates. Now I try to get back into cover, pop smoke, and here we are. Now I need some solid cover between me and my potential enemies, wherever they are, and I want to get 1 crew member back. And I also get some ammunition back, but more importantly in this stage, also smoke. And you could see I got with this 1 reload, not 1, but all 4 smoke capsules back, smoke grenades, and I launched them before the first smoke, well, screen actually disappears. So I have still some cover, and I reloaded it, and now let's get out of this situation. Now, the problem very often with getting here into a capture zone is that you further push, that you then overextend, and you get into the crossfire of multiple tanks, eventually die. And what my intuition is always try to stay alive for as long as possible in the 1 tank. Now, that is kind of a philosophy of keeping the tank. I've explained this now multiple times. And well, if you have a perfect lineup, it doesn't really matter if you get taken out because you're careless without having the spawn points, or then you go into your plane, get immediately shot down by an enemy fighter or SBA, radar guided or not. You're out of the match. And well, that was now, well, clickbaiting by me. I was hanging out my cupola, and I wanted him to shoot because I expected him to not fire a PAG. With a PAG, this would have resulted in a much more dramatic event, and also AMX explosion. It was very risky, but now I can confirm that indeed he is there. Don't try this at home, kids. This is Daddy Napalm mastering it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now I actually give the position away of there being still a sniper in the very well-known sniper spot. And now I actually want to retreat. I see that it's no good. It's no good use to stay in this position and wait in a situation where it's not very preferable for me. I hear aircraft flying over me, and thankfully a year ago Gaijin has changed rockets, and now they do not instant blow you up regardless if they hit you or not. And I hate aircraft. I really hate aircraft. So my top mounted 50 cal doesn't go down enough, but I anticipate his trajectory. And good night, sunshine. Beautiful. God, I love it when this happens. So I think it now requires much more skill with aircraft to not just fight off the enemy aircraft, but also getting in on a successful attack run. Sometimes if it's very early on and you have a lot of heavy tanks, it's still very easy to drop the bombs and bringing the rockets into target. But overall, I think CAS is now in a much more acceptable status than it was like a year before. Some people complain about it because they just couldn't do anything else except, you know, rocking in at CAS after they just launched a potato truck into the general direction of a cap and capping it. And when this mishap, they just were very often gone. I personally want now to go infield, so it looks very risky, but I confirmed that there was nobody because my AMX-30 Foch actually got here into the situation without getting shot. And now here behind the bunkers I'm relatively safe. I'm in hard cover, not a lot of people look there, and it's a very good situation to get an ambush shot and a tank. Nobody expects you there, it's hard cover, you're mostly secure from aircraft, or you can mostly hide behind from an attack run if you just switch the sides of the buildings. And that is another option that you have to take into account. Very often I also check the leaderboard, and now I look behind me, the map was pinged, and yeah, there is an American heavy tank. I think it's a T-32, and from his behavior it doesn't look like he actually saw me, and I take out his gun breech. That was a very important shot, and now he cannot really hurt me anymore. I gunned down the wooden panels here with the 50 cal, and it actually collapsed. That gave me then also the free line of fire for the heat shell killing the crew in the turret, 3 of them, and that's good enough for this guy to die. Then I'll participate again in recapturing the point for the second time, and here we go again. So now where do we go? Again, C is an option, but I have no idea how many tanks there are, and then I see some planes going into an attack run, but more importantly I see A getting contested, and that is now an alarming sign. I have no idea where the guy in C is, and what I do right here is also risky because I face the potential tank coming from C going for B with my back. I didn't look there. That was a bit of a mistake. So here we see then the enemy, and again shot for the gun breech. I aim in such a way that if I miss the gun barrel, I still would hit the gun breech. And now let's try this shot again for the gunner, very important, through the heavily angled roof. Nice. And now he cannot mark us with the machine gun, so I go in for the kill shot. Yes, that was a bit more ammunition than probably necessary, but you know, it better safe than sorry. The enemy does not know that I'm right away in this position, and if there is now coming somebody from their spawn, he might not expect me, except if I would have been marked with the machine gun, I would have like popped up on the minimap like a Christmas tree, being ready for getting shot at in the back like this. So this is again a very risky move thanks to Gaijin's map design. You just go around one corner, you then want to go back to the capture zone, and you expose yourself again immediately open up to getting fired in the back of your turret or tank overall. So I am coming from an unexpected direction, and hello sunshine, it's another Centurion Mark III. I aim for the gun breech, and I see that I killed now the loader, so he's down to 2 crew members. finishing off here the tank with a shot in the side of the turret is always, well, safe. And if I would not have killed the crew, I would have made the damage on the gun breach that was quote-unquote only red, made it black, which is always good for being massively damaged and securing a kill and not an RNG roll with the dice. So now I stay in A to not just only recapture the point, but also getting back the smoke launchers, which I used here to, well, kind of make the risk smaller for me getting shot in the back of the turret. Maybe a bit late for that action, but better late than never, and would have been really nasty for me to get killed like that. So here we recharge, and just 2 enemies left. To make it simple, I don't know where the remaining 2 enemies are, but there are only 2. So again, I go into the direction of the bunkers, and I expect somebody either coming in an aircraft, I can spot them probably on the horizon, or in a tank, most likely going for A, if that guy in the Centurion Mark III acquired enough spawn points for a respawn, or he gave up, or he just doesn't have anything left. So now I advance, I see our planes coming in for attack runs, spotting here one of the 2 remaining enemies, and I have the suspicion that the last enemy might just be, that is not spotted, might just be either AFK or just ran away, or went back with the plane to the airfield to rearm. Who knows? Well, there is actually the answer. He was in a Hurricane, shot down by an F4U7. My god, I love my Corsairs. I really do love my Corsairs. Beautiful planes, awesome performance, nice firepower. So at this stage, again, the question is, what is there left to do? So let's quickly recap here the AMX-30, the premium version. I think together with the tech tree versions, it was really a bitter experience with that highly unreliable heat shell. Whoever wants to see how it worked, watch my tank review on it with all those examples of ammo racks getting black and just vanishing and not exploding, or gun breaches not taking enough damage with multiple shots. And I think this is a very good change, but why not from the start? Why was this not solved on something like the dev server, or like 1 week after the AMX-30 series was introduced? So for every fix recently that Gaijin makes, you very often have to ask yourself, why not earlier? Why so late? And yeah, especially the stock grind on the AMX-30 B2 and the B2 Brenners, with that heat shell, with that ridiculously bad performance, that's just simply very bitter. Or that has been a very bitter experience. I tried it a little bit, but I gave up and just, well, gold. Now in good old fashion here, at the end of the game, somebody suicide rocketed his plane into my tank. I think it's, well, good banter at this stage. Let's have a look at the results. 47,000, nearly 48,000 silver lines and 4,383 research points, with some boosters activated, but not the very biggest ones. 2,125 score points as 4th in team. Now, I think that was an average battle. I did not really cherry pick it, but I hope I could be convinced that now the heat shell is more reliable than previous. So if you just bought this tank a while ago before the change, that is actually also happened a while ago, it's back, baby, and I think now it's usable, and that's all that I ever asked for. So that's everything from me for today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the waves of War Thunder.